What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been quite a long time, I think about 3 weeks now. I'm back off my break, so I'm going to be back in the charts. And yeah, we're going to dive straight into things. So you'll see that I've got the economic calendar up here, and you can see that we have high impact news on the Tuesday tomorrow, Thursday, and then also on Friday we have quite a lot of news on Euro. So I'm expecting Euro to be quite turbulent, so to speak. You can see that there's no GBP high impact news, so I'm guessing all the work's going to be done on Euro, which means we'll likely find divergence, and GBP may be held in a consolidation, but we'll look more into that as we drop into the charts. But nonetheless, I'm expecting some movement obviously tomorrow and Tuesday that can probably set us up for the rest of the week potentially. But yeah, let's get rid of that for now. And then I am on the monthly, and we're coming to the end of August now, and you can see we're kind of range bound. So if I look at this high to this low, you'll see how we're currently just trapped at the midpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the weekly, and we should be able to get an idea as to whether we want to see an up close candle or down close candle. But you can see even the weekly is looking quite messy in terms of the amount of consolidation that we're in right now. So I think it's just a matter of waiting on expansion at this point, because you can see our price is getting, really trapped within its own range, which isn't ideal. But ideally on dollar, I am still bearish with the expectation that we are going to continue lower. So as far as I'm concerned, I should continue with that bias and wanting to see a down close week. But like I said, all these wicks are making it significantly difficult. But nonetheless, you can see on Monday we've traded higher. It was bank holiday in the UK, which is why I didn't post. But I am looking at this low, and these look like relatively equal lows on a weekly level. So if I just get those delineated now, as we drop down to low time frames, we should be able to identify that. So I'm going to put sell side, liquidity, relatively equal lows. And I'll just make that thicker. And then when we drop down to the daily, you'll see that these lows are here, here, and here. So these look way too clean for me to be happy that price is just going to leave it. I don't believe price will just leave these lows intact like that. So if we are going to have a down close week, we anticipate Monday and Tuesday to trade higher. You can see Monday's traded higher. So Tuesday, I'm happy for us to rally a little bit more, but there's certain levels which I don't want to see us. Ideally, I don't want to see us take. So I'm looking at this massive wick right here mainly, and more specifically the 50% level. As far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't be able to run that 50% level. If it doesn't, ideally it doesn't even run this wick right here, but I don't want to be too, well, I'll mark that out as well. But this 50% level is consequent encroachment, and I don't want to see price trade above that if we are to remain bearish on dollar. So I'll get that delineated like so. And then I'm also looking at this wick right here, and if price taps into this, I want this stacked as rejection block ideally. So I'm anticipating that this is a rejection block. I think we used to have it at 50%. I can't remember what. But anyway, yeah, I'm anticipating this to be a rejection block, in that if price trades into it, I want to see price come out of it. And then what I'm also going to do is delineate the midpoint of this as well, just so that we have an idea of where the consequent encroachment of that daily wick is. So moving into Tuesday, I want to see us continue to trade higher, but ideally just tap that 50% level, and then I'd want to see a reaction off the back of that. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Now you can see our price is climbing up into that rejection block level, where we also have a bearish order block right here. So this is classic price action in terms of creating a massive gap, as in this drop, all downside delivery, and now we're filling it. And what I'm expecting to happen is that when we trade into the bearish order block with inside of it, we should get a nice reaction off the back of it for its turnaround. So I'm going to get that delineated in black, and I'll just put 4 hour bearish order block. And with that taken into account, I don't really need to pay attention to this consequent encroachment, because I don't expect it to be traded to. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously price can trade to it. It's just that ideally it doesn't, and that price is held. Let me just put that in the center. Price is held and essentially protected by this rejection block level, which will then send it back inside of its range. And like I said, these relative equal lows are looking way too clean for me right now, so I'm anticipating that we may come for that later in the week. But moving into Tuesday, I want to see us rally into that 4 hour bearish order block, and then create some kind of high at that point. I will drop down to the hourly just for a quick look, and you can see again a classic price action, rallied all day, now in a bit of consolidation. We'll probably find in the morning or in the early in the London session that we do create that high and then I'd want to be looking for potential shorts with the expectation that price will pull back into its range. Now, if it does trade through this 50% level, this red faint line which I've got right here, if price does manage to trade through that, I won't get involved, because as far as I'm concerned, if it can hit that, it's likely going to start running up to these highs as well, which is completely fine for price to do. It's not like, you know, it can do it. It's just that ideally it doesn't for me to be comfortable to trade, because that's my bias in wanting to see us pull back into our range, especially with some large displacement like this that we had on the back of, I'm guessing this was non-farm payroll. I wasn't aware. I wasn't around, but yeah. So that's going to be everything on dollar right now. I hope that all makes sense. I am going to get my daily dividers up, so bear with me. So as you can see, I have my daily dividers up. I'm going to mark out the Sunday opening price, which is right here. Drag that through, make that red and dotted. And again, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I'll be using this as a barometer for price, as a level for price that I expect price to want to draw to after it's created some kind of significant swing high. So yeah, moving into tomorrow, obviously we'll be able to see the trading day. Ideally, I'm looking for a high to be created within this range, and then I'd want to see some kind of pullback. That would be ideal, but again, there's only so much we can suggest. So that's everything on dollar. Let's head on to GBP USD, and we're going to start here on the monthly as well. And you can see similarly we are kind of range bound within itself again. Now obviously, if we're expecting dollar to want to potentially roll over into the downside, we want to see GBP potentially expand higher. So let's go to the weekly, and that means we're looking for ideally a up close week. Now what I do like the look of is the fact that we've taken out this high about 2 weeks ago. That's nice to see. And then we have this massive bullish order block right here that we've already traded into. So I'll show you what I mean. So here's a bullish order block. Price has tapped into it here, expanded, took out this high. We tapped into it again, and it created this range, and it looks like we're pulling back into this range again. So it's testing it. It's testing it as in, as far as I'm concerned, there should be a point of accumulation, assuming we are going to continue to expand higher. I am looking at this wick as well. It's quite complex as to why I'm looking at this wick, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the rejection block level. As in, yes, we've got this long wick, but because this is the up close candle, I'm looking at this as a rejection block level. And when price plays around in there, I want to see us leave it quite promptly. So let's go to the daily. And you can see we had a massive down day on the Monday, trading into a bullish order block. We could break this bullish order block down into a and look at the midpoint, which just happens to line up with this bullish order block as well. So moving into tomorrow, it'll be nice to see how price responds once it gets down to this level, which I just delineated, which was that weekly bullish order block open. So let's get that delineated a little bit more clearly, and I can put weekly bullish order block. And at least we know when price trades into it, or if price does start straight into it, we can anticipate a reaction around it. Here's the 4 hour. Again, large expansion, clear displacement to the upside, and it seems to me like we're just simply returning, filling this range, and then I'd want to see us start to rally and start taking out a few more highs ideally. But what I'm also looking at is this inversion fair value gap. So in this gap right here, oh, we're not even on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. There's a 4 hour inversion right here. So this is another point at where I'm anticipating that price should be able to find resistance for it to, you know, convert in, almost like, you know, turn around in. If we somehow trade to the bottom of this inversion fair value gap, then it's likely dollar will start rallying, like I was saying, it's a possibility, and then I just won't want to get involved because I'm not anticipating that to be happening this week. So with that taken into account, that gives us an idea as to where we want to expect to trade, expect a low to potentially be created, and build an idea around that. So yeah, not really much over here. Slight original consolidation, drop, run on sell stops, and then clear expansion. So it's very classic for price to return to the original point of consolidation, which is what we have over here. So you know, it's in line with our bias in wanting to see price come down into this, and then potentially reverse on the back of it. And then on the 15-minute, again, not really much. I am going to get the daily dividers up. I'll get them up tomorrow because they'll be a lot more significant after we see tomorrow's trading. But yeah, I hope that all makes sense. And let's finish up on Euro USD. We'll start here on the weekly. Now Euro's looking a little bit more complicated, but like I said, there's a lot of high impact news on euro this week that hopefully will loosen it up a little bit. But a lot of wicks. I'm not a fan of this price action currently, guys. But nonetheless, if we're expecting dollars to potentially trade lower, we want to see an up close candle on euro, or it would be nice. But because so many wicks are overlapping each other, it's not ideal conditions. Nonetheless, I'm looking at this range right here, but we're quite deep inside of that already, which is kind of concerning. And the daily right here as well, and you can see our price has been tapping into this bullish order block right here a couple times, here, and now we're playing around with it again. So there is a bullish order block here, so you know, there's allowance for price to need to go and dive into there. Ideally it doesn't, but I think it's very likely it will. Again, we've got a clear consolidation here, so this is a clear point of consolidation, which would justify why price may want to come back down there for reaccumulation. And that may be where we find divergences in. Euro might make this lower low, but pound might not make that lower low, and then we'll get the reversal off the back of that. But we'll talk more on that tomorrow. If we do, you know, create that swing tomorrow, we might not create that swing. Price could easily overrun it and just start expanding to the downside. It's just that when I see a clear displacement like this at the beginning of on the back of non-farm payroll, and then it's in direction of the higher time frame bias, there's no reason for us to anticipate lower prices. It's just, you know, typically. And then again, similar to dollar, we do have some relatively equal highs in terms of these. This is a significant swing high. These are swing high, relatively highs. These are highs. As in, there's a lot of liquidity that's going to be residing above here for price to want to trade into. But you can see that euro's looking heavily weak right now, so it's going to be very difficult to trade in that. I probably wouldn't choose to trade this pair right now anyway, just because of the pure consolidation we're in. And I'd want to see some kind of strong reaction for me to be any type of confident on the back of this. But I do certainly have my eyes on this consolidation and the way that we're going to treat it as we trade into it this week. And the time at which we hit it. So if we're hitting at a significant time, maybe just before a news event, and then we do see signs of a potential reversal, it should be nice. And don't get me wrong, I don't think the price is going to expand like it did on non-farm payroll. I think it would be quite a high resistance trade higher out of this depth which it's in, especially because of all the back and forth price action. It's going to be high resistance until it gets to like a certain point or swing high where it would then expand, which might not even be for a few weeks. So there's just a few things to think about in terms of behavior. I'm definitely not going to rush into things, but at least I have an idea as to where I'm anticipating and where I want to see price start to turn, or there to be some kind of significant significant event for this week in the markets. But that's going to be everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list. I am setting up a new website currently where I'm going to be getting some content on there for you guys, so do join the mailing list. There's going to be a new website soon. I'll make sure to make it clear whenever it's available, and join the Discord as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.